Hi, hello, this is Jonathan Miller once again with the Hometown Historian channel. This is actually a haunted history video. We're here in right outside of the town of Colebrook. And this is the old Colebrook mill. And there's a pretty horrifying story. This is actually called Legend of the Hounds of Colebrook. There was this man that I guess he was the one that ran this mill. He also, I guess, ran a whole bunch of buildings that were in this area. And this mill, I believe, was made or was built in the 1780s. Cliff and I actually had visited this before. He'd been here a couple times, and one of those times I sort of came along with him because he went down in the basement. This is state game lands, so unfortunately they've been trying to do some stuff to try to get this building saved, where the township of Colebrook, I guess, would exchange land with state game lands to be able to preserve this, because of it having such a history here in Colebrook, and being something that's almost 250 years old. But state game lands doesn't like to do that. Cliff and I both have a certain feeling about state game commission, how they handle things like that. Not terribly favorable. But anyways, so this man Jacobs, he had these prized hounds. They were like foxhounds, and he would always brag how anytime he put his hounds out, they would catch a fox or round a fox up. And he was bragging to this one gentleman who took him up on a bet that he could do this. So they went out to go get there's the hole as well that Cliff went down in. So that's a shame. Like this side of the building is actually starting to break down and collapse, so it needs to be preserved probably in the next couple years, or else this building will be gone. But anyways, so he went out this one day with this gentleman to find foxes, and his hounds unfortunately were not able to round up a fox, so he lost the bet. And this man Jacobs had an infamous temper, very nasty, cruel man, and he was really angry at his his dogs, his hounds, for not doing what they were supposed to do. And so therefore there was a furnace that he ran here as well, and he basically ran the dogs, forced them into the furnace while it was working, burned them alive. I guess the last one, which was his most faithful hound, didn't want to go, and he eventually just picked the dog up and threw it into the fire. And he didn't seem to bother him for a while, but unfortunately for him, over time he started to think more and more about it, and he started to think that he was hearing the baying of his hounds and that they were coming for him. And night after night this would happen, and eventually one night apparently the dogs got to him, or their ghostly spirits, and he died in his bed. And they said they found him, his eyes were wide open and his face was full of fear, and that's how he died. And they said on certain evenings when it's raining, sometimes in this area you can hear the baying of the hounds, and you can even potentially see their ghostly spirits running through these fields. But Jacobs got, in essence, his karma, his due reward, because he knew what he did was wrong and horrible, and ultimately it drove him mad, and he wound up dying probably of a heart attack. Whether these hounds are out here or not, who knows, but they do say from time to time you can hear their baying, and they're out on the hunt. So with that, we will end this video. And that is the legend of the Hounds of Colebrook. Thanks, everybody.